Hey guys, Hammerstar here, and today we are talking about what I talked about in the first video of one of the first videos of my New Year's week. Today we're going to be talking about my failures of 2018, which includes like canceled series, decrease in subs, and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and jump into that. Okay, so first we're going to talk about canceled series. One of the first canceled series I'm going to talk about is a more recent one that was actually never intended to be canceled, and was canceled because of an accident, just like I think two others on this list. I was looking forward to uploading this whole series, but I was freeing up some space and realized I accidentally had deleted the wrong file full of recordings. So, Heavy Rain, well, you can look up the game to figure out what it's about. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed the entire time playing it. I also want to play... I'm going to play Detroit Become Human at some point next year. Which I know it's a bit too late, but I'm going to get around to playing it eventually, that's a promise. Let's talk about the next abandoned video game. So this is another one of the accidental cancellations. And unlike the Heavy Rain one, I wasn't able to recover any footage. This one, you can just enjoy the distorted video of Filthy Frank in the background. But this time around, it was the Red Dead Redemption series, which that's another one of my childhood games. Well, I'm a teenager, so I guess technically a child, but when I was much younger, that was one of the early games I played, which probably wasn't good for somebody as young as me at the time, but it sort of had sentimental value when the new one came out, and I had fun playing it until I accidentally deleted it and all the footage. So yeah, that sucked. Okay, so this series cancellation was a more intentional one, as I just wasn't very happy with how it was turning out. I had a bunch of it planned, but I wasn't happy with how the series was turning out. So yeah, now I'm talking about Jurassic World Evolution, which was a pretty fun game. I loved it. I love those tycoon-style games. I played the hell out of this. I got 5 stars in all parks, but, I wasn't really enjoying the series, so you can still find part 1. That's about it. Alright, you may be wondering, why Heavy Rain background footage again? Well, it's because this was another game I couldn't find the, I wasn't able to recover footage from. But it was also a Square Enix Quantic Dream game, Beyond Two Souls. I played that. It was quite fun. I liked the mechanics of that game, but it was not an accidental deletion. It was purposeful. I just didn't really think it would make a good series, unlike Heavy Rain, which was an accidental cancellation. So yeah, let's move on to the next cancellation. No, before you say it, it's not Soma. The next canceled game is not Soma. I just felt like using Soma footage because, I think there's been enough Heavy Rain, and even though the next game we're going to discuss, which is the final one, I have way more canceled series. I think we've just covered that subject a bit too much, and we need to move on to something else. So, it's one of those make your choice games, but I think I've used Heavy Rain too much, so I'm using Soma. Okay, enough talking about why I'm using the background footage. This game was the Game of Thrones Telltale, which it was really fun. I loved playing that crap. It was amazing. I got emotionally attached to the characters. I loved House Forrester. I'm just sad that there will probably never be a part 2, even though it left on a freaking cliffhanger. But it was cancelled due to a buttload of copyright I got after uploading part 1. So yeah, that had to be taken down. I think you can still find the trailer for it out there though, because I was such big plans for that series. I gave it its own trailer, but when copyright calls, you got to make the right calls. So let's move on to our next subject we're going to discuss in failures. So next, I think we should discuss my loss in subscribers, which that's going to be a bit harder to detect, but than it is to detect gained, because I actually have statistics showing that I've gained 50 Can't find statistics showing how many I've lost, but I've estimated somewhere around 6 to 10, which is nothing compared around the 50 that I've gained, which makes me really grateful that people actually don't hate my content enough to unsubscribe. So, yeah, thank you for not unsubscribing, and hopefully thank you for subscribing, too. That would be heavily appreciated. My next loss in subscribers is going to be over, copywriting, which I discussed previously, but I've gotten quite the few copyright complaints, which is bad. The reason I'm using Fallout gameplay is because that's what got me one of my complaints, is I played West Virginia, or the proper name for the song is Take Me On Country Roads, but I got copyrighted because that was a copyrighted song. Thankfully, they let me use it, but you know, I wouldn't get any revenue. By the time I get revenue, I wouldn't be able to make anything off that video. But thankfully, I'd like to thank whatever the name of the company was for not taking action and getting my channel taken down, because it only takes 3 flags to get taken down, and guess what? There were 3 videos using that song, which is very, very bad for me. Also, as I said previously, I got copyrights for the Game of Thrones video, which, I guess it was a song, or maybe something else, like, I don't know, maybe some background sound effect that was copyrighted, I don't even know, but I couldn't upload it. So, the only instance you can find, I think, is just the trailer. So, I think that's all I can come up with for copyrights of this year. I got like 3 last year, and I think 3 this year, so, no, 4 this year. Now, let's move on to our next subject here. This time around, which is the final thing we're going to talk about, I'm sure there's more failures, but you know, this video's gone on long enough. It's gone on longer than my freaking success video, which, you know, I don't even care. The last thing we're going to talk about is my failure to reach my subscriber goal of 100. Now, my friend Caleb, aka Airhead Gaming, he set his bar to 50, which he achieved, and so did I, but I didn't achieve mine of 100, which I guess I was pushing my luck a little too far, but, you know, but I'm not gonna let that demoralize me. It actually gives me more faith, because I'm setting the bar even higher. Because if I've managed to make 50 this year, I have a chance of making even more next year, and, the more subscribers you get, the more you get around, and the higher chance of me making my subscriber goal, which I'm not going to say what my goal is in this video, because tomorrow, which I believe is Friday, will be my last New Year's week video, and that'll be when I take my short hiatus away from YouTube, and I will discuss my new subscriber goal and things I planned for next year in full depth and all that. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for taking your time to watch this video, and I hope you decided to stay and subscribe. This has been Hammerstar Games, and goodbye.